Ever feel like your team meetings go in circles? You talk about data, share opinions, but walk away without a clear, actionable plan? Today, we're changing that. We're moving beyond simple guesses and into the world of professional Socratic questioning. This isn't about repeating after me. It's a powerful tool for any educator, teachers, coaches, administrators to drive meaningful conversations and make decisions that actually improve instruction. So, what is it? Socratic questioning is a structured way of asking questions to dig deeper. It helps us uncover our reasoning, check our assumptions, and truly understand different viewpoints. It's perfect for PLC meetings, data deep dives, or any professional conversation where you need clarity. Instead of just stating opinions, we use questions to build a shared understanding. Why is this so crucial? Because it leads to smarter decisions, strengthens our teaching, reduces confusion, and builds a culture of professional growth, not defensiveness. Let's look at a few examples. A reasoning question might be, what evidence led us to this conclusion about student progress? This pushes us beyond a gut feeling. A clarifying question could be, when we say engagement, what does that actually look like in the classroom? This ensures everyone is on the same page. We also use questions to explore different perspectives, like how might another teacher approach this same challenge? Or to challenge our own thinking with assumption questions. What are we assuming about our students' prior knowledge, and is that assumption backed by data? Finally, we consider the future with consequence questions. If we adopt this new strategy, what are the potential long-term impacts on our curriculum map? These questions transform the conversation from a simple chat into a powerful, collaborative analysis. Now, let's see this in action. Imagine a PLC meeting at Socratic Elementary. The team is looking at recent assessment data. The administrator starts, "Okay, team, we're noticing lower proficiency in reading comprehension this quarter. What are your initial thoughts on what contributed to this?" One teacher says, "My gut feeling is that students struggled with the informational texts we used." Another teacher jumps in, but not with an opinion. She asks a question. That could be part of it, but what specific evidence tells us that's the root cause? This is a classic reasoning question, asking for the thinking behind the statement. The first teacher pulls up her data. Well, looking at the item analysis, most of the incorrect answers came from questions requiring students to make an inference. A third teacher adds another layer. Okay, that's a specific detail. So how does that insight apply to our upcoming instructional cycle? The instructional coach steps in to refine their focus. When we say students are confused, what exactly do we mean? Are we talking about vocabulary, text structure, or the way the questions are worded? These are clarifying questions, designed to make sure the team is solving the same problem. The second teacher reflects, "For my class, the confusion really came from the multi-step questions. I saw a lot of students hesitating and rereading the same section over and over." "That's a great observation," the coach replies. "Could you explain a bit more about what that hesitation looked like during the lesson?" Now the team starts brainstorming solutions. The administrator guides them. If we're considering a shift in our instructional approach, what are some different options we have on the table? This opens the door for perspective questioning, one teacher suggests. One perspective is to introduce more modeled think-alouds, so they can hear our process for making inferences. Another teacher offers a different angle, or another viewpoint is to incorporate more collaborative reading strategies where students can work through those tough passages together. Coach pushes them to evaluate these options. Excellent. And how do these two perspectives differ in their potential impact on student independence versus guided practice? As they dig deeper, they start uncovering their own blind spots. The second teacher has a realization. I think we assume students have already mastered basic text features like headings and subheadings. Another chimes in, "That's a good point. What assumption are we making about their prior knowledge from last year?" The administrator grounds the conversation in facts. And more importantly, do we have any data to confirm or challenge that assumption? By checking their assumptions, they avoid building a plan on a shaky foundation. Finally, they consider the real-world impact of their plan. The coach asks a consequence question. If we decide to implement these changes starting next week, what are the possible outcomes, both positive and negative? A teacher responds, "We might see improved comprehension scores, but the trade-off is that our unit pacing could get a lot tighter." Exactly, another adds. "And what are the long-term implications for our year-long curriculum map if we spend an extra week here?" Let's pause and reflect. In just a few minutes, this team moved from a vague guess about informational texts to a focused plan targeting inference with multi-step questions. They used Socratic questioning to move from assumptions to evidence, and from isolated opinions to a shared professional decision. That's the real power of this method. It's not about being confrontational. It's about being collectively brilliant. And before we go, let's remember who we are as educators at Lathrop. We are respectful. We are responsible. We are safe. We are learners. We are leaders. We are Lathrop leopards. And we lead with purpose. Thank you for watching. Try using one Socratic question in your next team meeting and see what happens. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content for educators.